One and two. This is Miss Grunninger here. You're going to have a sub today, and I just want you to know everything's fine. I'm not sick. I'm just having a doctor's appointment for my son this morning, and actually, by this time, I will probably be at home with him. So if you have any questions about today's introduction to your semester final, just email me, and then I'm also going to be free for office hours this afternoon. Okay? So I'm really bummed that today is the day that I was going to introduce your semester final. But because I wanted to do it in person. But this is as close as I can get to in person, so making this video for you. So the sub is just going to play this for you. And we are introducing our semester final today, and we're going to walk through what that means, and then you're going to be working on that starting today, and the first stage of your final is actually due this Thursday. So let's get started. We are in week 15, so go ahead and follow along, of course, Monday, and get into your Learn folder. Do your attendance check-in. This is our accountability for the day, so please make sure to do this with the sub as well. Miss G will do a quick demo for your check-in. Please watch and comment on a question she poses during her demo. So I will not be doing a quick demo today. So what I want you to do instead is if you have any questions after I introduce this project, I want you to type them in here as your comment, okay? So actually, it's a requirement. You have to put a question in here because this is my attendance record for you today, okay? This is a reminder of the compositional devices for your project. So we talked about these last week before break because they are integral, really important to understanding how to do your semester final. So it might be a good idea to kind of roll through these again and look at the examples, kind of decide for yourself which ones are most interesting to you. There's a lot of them, and they're all very fun and interesting, but this is the list at the end here of them, and you're going to be choosing 2 of these today to focus on. So you're going to have to go back and look at them, and then maybe go to the slide and remind yourself of what that means and what that is. So that is there for your reference. And we're going to class review of abstract submissions. We're going to look at those together, but I think we should do that on Thursday because I want to be there for that. And here is your assignment, Rules of Abstraction Assignment, Overview of Semester Final. This is your final as well as the content for our winter exhibition. So let's talk about that. The entire project, the final submission, is due the day of the final at the end of that final period. But there's a lot of internal stages to this assignment, and we're going to get started with those today. Got a typo here, driving me crazy. Okay, what is the objective of this assignment? Well, the objective of this assignment is really twofold. The first part of it, which should always be on your mind when you're working on this, is telling the story of your experiences this year. So this year meaning the COVID year, right? The year that you had to learn from home on your computer and stay inside and social distance and all of that. We want you to tell the story of your year and in an abstract way. So this can be open-ended, and you can choose to focus on whatever aspects of this year that are most interesting to you and that are most prominent in your life, right? So the things that show up for you on a regular basis in your life. So here's some examples. Home life during distance regulations. So what is your home life like? Family, right? So some of us have gotten closer to family because of this. Or you could also talk about challenges as well, if that's something that's prominent in your life and you feel comfortable talking about it. Hobbies, school, friends, social distance, the concept of it or the reality of it, right? Nature, which a lot of people are turning to right now if they can to escape the feeling of confinement, right? Art making, right? What are you doing art-wise to kind of get through this? So you can make up your own as long as it is telling a story about this year's experiences, and you can define it in an artist statement. So something that is clear to you. And then the second part of this twofold is we're going to go through some stepped staged assignments, learning how to tell a story using abstract forms, sculptural forms. And then we're going to, some of the techniques that we've learned around the concept of your compositional devices, and also the surface techniques that we've learned about, surface decorating techniques. I didn't put this in this assignment, but I want to clearly state it. I have decided that we are not firing this work. We are not going to fire this work and glaze it. We are going to paint it with acrylic paint while it is still wet. So while the clay is still wet, and we are going to photograph it. So the submission for this work is all going to be in photographs, and we are not firing this work. Okay, so just kind of absorb that concept. Format of the final assignment. Final submission. Your final submission will be content that your teachers will jury and enter into an exhibition website. This is a juried exhibition, so not all submissions will be in the exhibition. So you can think of it as a competition, and the highest quality submissions will be exhibited. Your final submission will be in a Google form, which you submit an artist statement, a photograph of your final sculpture for your AR entry. That means augmented reality, and process photographs of your ceramic sculpture experiments that will make up your website page. So I'm going to be creating the website for you, so you don't have to do that part. But you do need to submit all of the content so that I can upload it. And then in the winter time, we're going to have a reception at the end of January that is going to be a Zoom event. And we're going to invite parents and the community to this event. And we're going to be exploring your virtual submissions and your web pages through this event. So here are the components of your final submission in Google Form. Do not do these ahead of time, okay? These are staged assignments. The first one is augmented reality and AR. So you're going to submit your final sculpture to us, and Mr. Landry and I are going to scan that sculpture into an AR program, and we're going to create a three-dimensional sculpture that you can enter into, walk around, see it from all sides virtually. Okay, so we're going to teach you how to do that. One image that represents your body of work that will be used as the thumbnail for the main web page. So if you click on it, it takes you to your page, and then a banner on your website page, which is the photo that's at the very top of your website page. This will most likely be like a detail shot of your final sculpture. 4 process images. These will be associated with the assignments that I gave you in stages. 3 images of your final sculpture, 1 main shot for the AR, and 2 detail shots. I'll discuss that later. Limited word artist statement, and we'll discuss that later as well. So your work has to tell a story of your experiences this year, and there's going to be very specific formats and sizes for submitting the work so that they're easy to upload to the website. So stages. So the first stage is due December 3rd, which is this Thursday, so you're going to be working on it in class. This stage is meant to explore using the compositional devices and abstract ceramic building and surface decorating techniques that we've learned. So I want you to remind yourself, look at the lectures, and look at the surface decorating techniques. Stage 2 is due on December 9th. This stage is meant to set up some exploration experiments that will be part of your final submission and help you focus into a series of photos of your ceramic forms that will be your main product. And we're going to look at Schoology for that later on. Stage 3 is December 14th. Submit your full photography for AR, part of the submission, and a draft of your artist statement. I'm going to critique it, return it to you, and give you your final submission. You're going to turn in your final submission the day of the final. And then stage 4 is due at the end of the final period, and you're going to submit your Google form with all of the things that are listed up here, submitted, and that'll be really clear in that form. Okay, so I'm going to make a second video that is going to tell you and talk to you about what are you working on today.